So, good afternoon. We are back again, and we are going to talk about my twin brother being sacked from Chelsea. We can also talk about this horrific sunburn. Like, literally, what's happened? It's like a crab stick, you know, the crab sticks. This is what happens when you go to the beach and it's super windy and you don't realize you are getting burned. Stay protected, people. But anyway, the good news is red does turn to golden at some point. So Golden Child FC will be back again in a couple of days. But for now, I will be staying in and getting no sunlight whatsoever. Make sure you smash the like button. That would be great. That would help the algorithm massively. Do subscribe as well. Absolutely flying on this channel. We're nearly on 9,500 nearly. Push that up to 10K as quick as we can, and then we double it and double it and double it. But Graham Potter has been sacked from Chelsea, and I'm going to read out the club statement. Chelsea FC have announced that Graham Potter has departed the club. Graham has agreed to collaborate with the club to facilitate a smooth transition. Let me just stop right there. What does that even mean? Graham Potter has agreed to collaborate with the club to facilitate a smooth transition. So basically what that's saying is, you're not going to get your money unless you help us, but we're sacking you anyway, but you have to help us. Cool. In the meantime, Graham Potter has taken us to the quarterfinal of the Champions League, where we will face Real Madrid. Chelsea would like to thank Graham for all of his efforts and contributions and wish him well for the future. Bruno Salta will take charge as interim head coach, which is kind of funny, actually, because he is one of Graham Potter's coaching staff that used to work with him at Brighton, that they paid to get him out of the contract as well. It's mad. Co-controlling owners Todd Bowley and Behdad Egbali said, on behalf of everyone at the club, we want to thank Graham sincerely for his contributions to Chelsea. We have the highest degree of respect for Graham as a coach and as a person. He's always conducted himself with professionalism and integrity, and we are all disappointed with the outcome. Along with our incredible fans, we will be getting behind Bruno and the team as we focus on the rest of the season. We have 10 games remaining and the Champions League quarter-final ahead. We will put every effort and commitment into every one of those games so that we can make the season end on a high. They're taking the mick, I can't lie. What are they chatting about? The season end on a high. Unless you win the Champions League, it's been one of the worst seasons you've ever had. Yeah, and talking about records and stuff like that, Graham Potter leaves Chelsea with a joint lowest points per game record, along with Glenn Hoddle, of 1.27 points per game. 31 games in charge, he won 12. Let that sink in. 12 of 31. And I think 5 of them came in October. It's mad. Yeah, and I think the reason this hasn't worked out is not because he's not a good manager, because I do think he is a good coach. I think he's a decent manager. I think the reason this hasn't worked out, it was just too big. There's too much going on at Chelsea. Too much of a mess at Chelsea. You know, the owners going out there buying the players and just splashing £500 million in one window. Going out and buying 100 million on this player, 100 million on that player. He's got a squad that's way too big, like 30-odd players. He's got a striker that can't even get in the squad, Aubameyang, who's spending more time in Barcelona's dressing room than he is at Chelsea. Like, it's all a mess. It's an absolute mess. And I think that needed someone to go in there, like a Simeone, like a Jose, like even a Conte, to go in there and go, boom, 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 this is what we're doing, this is how we're doing it. And I don't think Graham Potter had the respect of the players. I don't think he is that type of manager. That's not his management style. And it just ain't worked. Listen, he is a good coach. He'll probably end up at Tottenham. And the manager merry-go-round is hilarious. You get paid to join, you get paid to leave. But then when you get paid to leave, you can end up going and working down the road at Tottenham, and they'll pay you to come and pay you to leave. And it's weird because Nagelsmann is the red-hot favourite, and he probably will end up with a job. And it could end up with Thomas Tuchel at Bayern in a semi-final of the Champions League against Nagelsmann. The only difference is that the opposite class. It is crazy. Football is insane. And it's the only job where you can fail miserably, get paid millions, and then walk straight into another job. Like, it's unbelievable. And the funny thing about this, the amount of players that Chelsea have signed, and they don't even look like scoring a goal. It is insane watching them. I watched them against Villa. They were shocking. Yeah, Mudryk, by the way. Mudryk, Ukrainian H from Steps, told everyone, trash. Absolute trash. Yeah, Raheem Sterling, done nothing since he's been there. Like, you've got a lot of players that are taking the mick, if we're being honest. They're only there for that. Yeah, often didn't even want to go there. The only player that I've looked at Chelsea since he's signed, and I thought, you're a player, mate. You're a top player, is Enzo. Yeah, and every time I watch Chelsea, he's normally having a decent game. It's just the rest of them. Yeah, and no, Chelsea have got a lot of work to do. Yeah, they've got to get a new manager in. They've got to finish the season trying to win the Champions League. If they don't, well, that's the end of their season. And then they've got to try and get rid of at least 10 of them players. Havertz has got to go. Not that he will, but he's got to go. They've got to get rid of Zajic. They've got to get rid of Loftus-Cheeks. They've got to get rid of other players in that squad that just genuinely ain't good enough. Yeah, Mason Mount's kind of flirting with leaving, not leaving. And it's all over the place. Then the new manager's going to want to come in and say, well, actually, I don't want him and I don't want him as well. Then he's going to want his own players. And Kunku's coming in the summer as well. And I can see this maybe happening again. And if Nagelsmann comes in, it wouldn't surprise me if they sack him by Christmas. Like, it's kind of mad what's happened to Chelsea, because under Abramovich, you could see the direction, you could see the plan, you could see what they were trying to do. Under this Todd Bowley, they're all over the place. Literally all over the place. You don't know what they're trying to do. They want to go down this process, and then they sack the manager after, 7 months? Like, if it's a project and a process, keep him. They're right to sack him, by the way. Yeah, he could have been sacked about 15 times, and he's only been there 7 months. And when you put that into perspective, that's actually insane. Yeah, but he'll go and get a job somewhere else, and they'll do all right somewhere else. Like all these small clubs, or smaller clubs, like Tottenham, like West Ham, someone like that. Yeah, with all due respect to West Ham, F Tottenham, but he'll do all right at another club, which is about his level. Yeah, and people need to see these managers at big clubs before they can go, boom, yes, because I wanted him at Arsenal. But seeing what he's now gone and done at Chelsea, even though it's all a mess, he still didn't really get the football playing like how he did at Brighton, did he? Yeah, it didn't really happen. Like, he walked in there in a suit and the skin fade and all of that, and he felt out of place straight away, which is why he did that. He's never been a suit manager. He's always been a tracksuit manager. Yeah, and long coat manager. Sit on the bench, just fold your arms. Like, and he walked in there with an inferiority complex. He didn't think he should be there. And then you've just seen him gradually, get worse and worse and worse. And then you've seen him change back to the track, then to a suit, then letting his beard grow out and his hair grow out. And it's obviously very stressful knowing that your team are crap and you can't do anything about it. And everyone's blaming you. But at the same time, a lot of them players are a disgrace. Like, they are genuinely a disgrace. And he's not helped himself, but they ain't helped him either. Yeah, and some of them players are horrible to watch. Horrible to watch. And Koulibaly. But again, he ain't helped himself. He was playing bum cheeks at right wing back when he's got Reece James on the bench. Like, make that make sense. Mason Mount up front the other week. Why? Why didn't you just put Aubameyang in the team? It's kind of mad, I can't lie. A long may it continue, man. For the last 20 years, Chelsea have set the pace. They've been the team up here that have set the tempo and set the pace. They've been the most successful club in England for the last 2 decades. And Abramovich has gone, and it's like, it's all falling down. It's all falling away. Roman's left. And now what? What do they do now? Because they've got a massive dilemma. Yeah, and they've got to fix it real quick. Like, they need to get back up there ASAP. And if they don't, you could see Chelsea just messing around in mid-table for the next couple of seasons, spending an absolute fortune and getting no better. But it is what it is, people. Let me know your thoughts, feelings, and opinions on Chelsea. Long may it continue. Fingers crossed they don't win the Champions League. Like I said, I'm red raw. Look at the state of me. And fingers crossed they don't win the Champions League. But it depends, doesn't it? It depends who they bring in. It depends whether they react, because that is all they've got left this season. And yeah, man, what a madness. I don't think anyone expected Chelsea to be where they are and to have had the season that they've had. But it is what it is. Let me know what you think. I will be back again tomorrow and every day, pretty much every day other than a Sunday, maybe. I do like to have a little beach day on a Sunday, but depends what's out there and what's breaking, as and when, really. But I do like to get the videos out for about this time every day. But sometimes that can't be done. So make sure you got notifications on, not that they bother sending them, but just keep an eye on the channel. Road to 10K. Big up to all of you, like you lot are real ones. And let me know what you think about my twin, Graham Potter, being sacked. We're out of here. Adios, amigos.